So, one of the most difficult things to deal with in life is a person who is uncorrectable, a person who does not take correcting. Now, I want you to imagine a captain navigating a massive ship through a treacherous, foggy waters. Now, the crew runs to the cockpit, pointing out a jagged reef directly ahead. But the captain locks the door, he turns off the radar, and he blatantly refuses to listen to anyone, simply because he believes that his direction is the only right one. Now, of course, we all know how that story will end. Inevitably, the ship will sink. Now, in life, there are so many people who live their lives exactly like that captain. And today we are talking about one of the most dangerous traits a person can possess: the inability to be corrected. The tragic reality of an uncorrectable person is that their mistake is a mistake of stubbornness. And they mistake their stubbornness for strength. They view feedback as a direct attack on them, and they see advice as an insult. When you cannot take correction, you create an invisible prison around your own potential. You stop growing, and the moment you decide that no one can teach you anything is the exact moment you cap your intelligence. You put a hold on your character and, of course, on your future as well. Now, I want you to think about it. Every great athlete has a coach. Every world-class teacher has someone who was able to guide them to that height. Every successful businessman, any person who is successful, because true greatness demands a willingness to be wrong so that you can eventually get it right. So what happens to a person who refuses to bend? What happens to a person who is uncorrectable? Well, quite simply, eventually they break. First, they lose their relationships. People around them stop trying to help them. Friends and family pull away because it is absolutely exhausting to walk on eggshells around someone who always has to be right. Because correction requires humility, it requires trust. And when someone cares enough to correct you, they are not trying to humiliate you, they are actually trying to help you. But if you act with defensiveness, if you respond with irritation, with silence, with blame, or even with contempt, then these genuine people will stop trying to help you. They will stop speaking truth into your life. They will stop warning you before danger, and they will stop guiding you before you crash. Because relationships are built on communication and growth. And that is a very, very important aspect. Secondly, a person who cannot be corrected will continue to repeat the same painful mistakes over and over again. Without correction, failure isn't a lesson, it becomes a permanent loop. You will suffer the same heartbreaks, you will suffer the same financial losses, the same professional setbacks over and over again, blaming the world for your mistakes instead of looking into the mirror. Thirdly, a person who cannot be corrected loses wisdom. Because wisdom is not knowledge. Wisdom is what you do with what you have learned. And correction is often the doorway to wisdom. And let me say this very clearly. Every correction that comes your way is data handed to you. It's information about how reality works. It's the map that prevents you from walking into the same wall again and again. But a person who cannot be corrected treats correction like a direct insult instead of insight. They reject feedback and they label it as disrespect. And over time, they flatly stop improving. They start repeating the same patterns, they start making the same mistakes with the same outcomes, of course, and then they act shocked when life doesn't reward them. Fourthly, a person who cannot be corrected loses opportunities. Opportunities don't always arrive with applause. Sometimes opportunities arrive disguised as critique. A coach may slip you a note, a teacher may point out an error, a mentor may say to you that don't do this, try this. A colleague may say to you that that approach wouldn't work. And the person who can't be corrected doesn't just miss the moment, they miss the future, because correction trains you to see options that you did not see before. Correction sharpens your judgment, it builds your ability to pivot, and it makes you flexible. But when a person cannot be corrected, that person becomes rigid, and when you refuse to adjust, you don't just lose a chance, you lose the ability to recognize opportunities in front of you. And fifthly, and this is the most painful one, a person who cannot be corrected loses freedom. Why? Because they become trapped inside of their egos. An ego is not just pride, ego is a prison, and it demands payment. It demands that you defend your image. It demands that you protect your reputation and you justify your behavior. So instead of focusing on results, you then tend to focus on winning arguments. Instead of focusing on solutions, you then focus on proving that you are right. And instead of focusing on growth, you then begin to focus on appearances. And this is absolutely exhausting. Now, if you recognize yourself in anything that I have said so far, the good news is that you can change. You can be the kind of person that correction can reach. And I want to show you what that looks like in practice. A person who can be corrected does not respond to correction with fear. They respond with curiosity. They don't assume correction is a direct attack against themselves. They assume that correction is a gift that may be wrapped in discomfort from time to time. And here's the secret. People who allow correction, they become stronger because they are more trainable. Trainable people improve faster than those people with talent alone. Because the ability to be corrected is not a weakness. It is the power of restraint. It is character with direction. It is wisdom with courage. So if you want to achieve true success, you have to shift your mindset. You must change how you view correction. Correction is not rejection, it is direction. It is someone handing you a map when they see that you are walking towards a cliff. It is a gift of time, saving you years of wasted effort and unnecessary pain. To be correctable requires humility. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. So this morning, I challenge you to look closely at your own life. How do you react when someone tells you that you made a mistake? Do you get defensive? Do you make excuses? Do you take a deep breath? Do you listen? Do you say thank you for looking out for me? It's important that you drop the heavy armor of pride. It isn't protecting you. As a matter of fact, it's weighing you down. Open your mind. Invite honest feedback and become a person who is teachable. Become a person who is approachable and a person who can learn. Because always remember that the smartest person in the room is never the one who claims to know it all. It is the one who's always willing to learn. So here's my closing message. Don't become a person who cannot be corrected. Be the person who welcomes correction. Because in the end, the goal isn't to look flawless. The goal is to become better. And better is always available to those who are humble.